Alrighty. You are looking live at Sold Out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff-bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. And why are the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. They lost to the 3-win Cardinals today at home because they suck. The Philadelphia Eagles suck. Rolls right off the tongue there, folks. Philadelphia sucks. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. If anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Hey, anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away, throw it in the chat box. Usually try to check on the chat box, like every 5 to 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free and fire away. But plus also, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might wind up being, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free and fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I could use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. And then finally, also just a little ways down in the description boxes, 2 additional links. The top one's a Facebook link. I'll go over that in just a minute. Then the one just below it, it's a Twitter link. To me, I'm an old fart. It's Twitter. It's always been Twitter. It's Twitter today. It'll be Twitter tomorrow. It'll be Twitter 3,000 years from now. It's Twitter. Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call it, that's on him. I'm not going to call it that. It's Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I will follow you back. That's an absolute promise. I try to put stuff, Giants-related stuff in there every day, right? And then just above that, okay, it's a Facebook link. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants Gridiron. It's a group. We have over 7,500 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. And basically, if I'm alive and breathing and if I have internet access, I'm darn near putting stuff in here 365. And not only that, if you become a member, not only do I put stuff in here, but members post stuff in here as well, too. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in there every day. Please join it. It's called the New York Giants Gridiron. It's a group. Please join it. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. All right, with all that stuff said and done and out of the way with, I'll tell you what. Hold on here a second. Hold on a second. Let me see. I think I need to charge this baby here. But with all, I'll tell you what, the only thing that could, I'll tell you what actually, let me tell you what. If we had the double, right? The double, if we had the Cowboys we should have had the Cowboys losing, but of course, they I guess Jerry and the NFL, they got their script, written out. Cowboys need to win, but whatever. So they got the script written down. So the refs had made sure that the Cowboys won. Actually, really, the Lions did win. Okay, but what shows up in the standings, the Cowboys wind up winning. But if the Cowboys and the Eagles lost, man, it would have been a wonderful, wonderful weekend. But unfortunately, the Eagles, I'm sure that the refs tried to get the Eagles to win too, because the only way the Eagles can win, they need the refs and they got to have the tush push. Without the refs and the tush push, the Eagles probably have 1 win this season because they suck. They suck. Their defense blows. Absolutely blows. I love it, man. whole second half, Kyler Murray had him walking up and down the field. They had like 32, 33, something like that first down. You know how hard it is to get like 32 or 33 first downs in a game? It's pretty tough. Well, Cardinals managed to do that. 3-win team on the road in Philadelphia. Man, it was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely loved it. So this game coming, and the other nice thing, okay, is that no matter how much the refs tried to help the Cowboys out, I'm sure the refs tried to help the Eagles out today. No matter all of that, whatever, this 49ers today, bam, got the number 1 seed. Yes. So the 49ers are going to have a week off, right? They'll have the first round bye, and then if they win the first game, the second game will, as long as they stay in the playoffs, everything goes through San Fran. There won't be none of this going on the road to Philly, with Brock Purdy getting his arm hit, and they'll have a 37-string quarterback in the backfield trying to, nobody can throw passes for the 49ers. And there won't be none of that, right? It all goes through San Fran now. And the San Fran beat the Cowboys, I think, by 312 points in San Fran this week and this year. And, the Eagles, they won't be a match at all. If they have to go there in San Fran, you can kiss them, baby, goodbye. And the other thing I like is that you got the Lions would be like by a lower seed than the Cowboys. So quite possibly, I mean, if everybody starts taking care of some business, like the Cowboys, they win, right? The Lions win, the Eagles win, right? The first game, or the second round, a divisional round, could quite wind up being where maybe the Eagles or so goes to San Fran. So San Fran's going to knock them out. Boom, they're gone. Forget about it. The interesting thing is that, Detroit's going to be pissed off, really being pissed off if they have to go back to Dallas again. So they were the better team. They should have won the game. Also, another one of the things that kind of ticked me off was, sometimes you can outcoach yourself. Sometimes it's just best just to take the points. Sometimes when you're in field goal range, sometimes it's just best to kick a field goal. Sometimes it's just best to come away with 3 points. My point is that, they had like 4th down and goal at the 2 or 3 yard line with the Cowboys. I understand you want to go for it and all and everything, but when you come away with nothing, you could have had 3 points, right? They kicked 3. They had 3 points there, right? Instead of maybe losing 20-19, they might actually wind up winning 23-20 because they kicked the 3 points. It would have been a 20-yard field goal. It was in the first half, I think it was. They were down like the 2 or 3 yard line. They came away with nothing, the Lions. But then at the end of the game, they would have kicked the extra point instead of going for the 2-point conversion. So they might have wound up winning the football game. So they'll be ticked off. They'll really be ticked off. So they might even knock the Cowboys out. But as I said, that really made me happy. So it doesn't even matter next week. And I think McCaffrey, if I'm not mistaken, I was noticing Mitchell was playing an awful lot in the second half. I don't know if McCaffrey got injured, a little nicked up, or exactly what happened. But the fullback, the Skittle man, Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, the Purdy and all that. So their offense was gelling. It was really, really looking good today. So as I said, I'm not sure if McCaffrey's a little dinged up or what, but I noticed a lot in the second half that he wasn't in there. But if that's the case, maybe he's a little dinged up. He can have next week off, and he'll have a bye week, so he may not have to play for like 3 weeks or so. So hopefully, if he was a little dinged up, hopefully, give him a few weeks off, and he'll be good to go, right, ready for the playoffs. So that's all. That's all I got to go for. That's all I got to live for, guys. I mean, I'm like that. I'm a worthless piece of trash. If my team can't get in there, I don't want the Eagles or the Cowboys being there. And that's what I look at. It's kind of like, well, of course, the Giants, of course, we weren't going anywhere. But so you just start looking, okay, well, the Eagles are pretty good, especially with the refs helping them out. And then the Cowboys are pretty good, especially with the refs helping them out too. So it's like, okay, they're both going to make the playoffs because the refs are going to make darn near sure whatever they got to do. The Eagles and the Cowboys are making the playoffs. Don't even worry about that, right? The refs, their wallets are fat thanks to the Eagles and the Cowboys this season. But I just start looking down at, is there somebody out there that can knock these teams off? And I'm not even worried about the Eagles. There ain't no way the Eagles are going to win 3 games and then go into the Super Bowl and beat like the Ravens. That ain't happening. So I ain't got to worry about the Eagles. They suck. They really suck. But now it's like the Cowboys. Is there somebody out there that can knock the Cowboys off? And I feel pretty comfortable. Absolutely. Between the 49ers, the Lions got to go back in there again. The Lions might be a little ticked off. And I said, the Ravens, boy, they really look good. The Ravens really look good. Let me tell you what, they handle between what they did to the 49ers and what they did to the Ravens. I'm sorry, what they did to the Dolphins. They really took care of business. Now, to be fair, the 49ers moved the ball up and down the field. They had 5 turnovers. They had at least 4 interceptions, if not 5. So, and the Ravens had none. Take all those turnovers off, and it's a different ball game. So, if the 49ers and the Ravens go back into the Super Bowl again, go head-to-head, they are the best 2 teams in football, right? 49ers in the NFC, Ravens in the AFC. So if they both make it there, those are the best 2 teams without question. So if the 49ers don't turn the ball over 312 times, it's going to be a real good game. And the 49ers come out on top, I wouldn't be surprised at all, right? But I said, to me, just watching the Eagles lose. They took the lead 31-28, right? And then just have Murray just walk them right down the field. Man, it was a thing of beauty. Really, really was a thing of beauty. Really, touched my heart. They made me just feel so good. But, without question, the Eagles, regardless, are going to be playing their absolute. They're going to have all their starters in there. They're going to be playing their absolute best this final weekend because, they got to play to win. And then they got to hope that, hey, maybe the Commanders, right? You got to play the games. And the Cowboys, they might have been 8-0 at home this year. Of course, they won a couple close games. The Lions did beat them, but the refs made sure that the Cowboys came out with the W, right? But, the Cowboys are a little different team on the road. The Cowboys have lost like 5 games on the road, right? This final game of the season is against the Commanders on the road. And, the Commanders would love nothing better than hang another another L on the Cowboys. So, it's going to be a tough game for the Cowboys. I think it'd be a tough game for the Cowboys. The Eagles are going to come in this next weekend with their rear ends on fire. They're going to try to pull out all the stops and win this game without question, because if they can come away with a win, and if somehow the Cowboys wind up losing, getting tripped up, right, the Eagles will take the division, right, because they both got 5 losses now. Because you figure the Cowboys lost, let's see, to the Bills, they lost to the Dolphins, they lost to the 49ers, they lost to the Eagles, and they lost to the Cardinals. So they lost 5 games on the road. So they're 3-5. They're 8-0 at home. They're 3-5 on the road. So they're not a very good road team. Not a very good road team at all. So this game and the Giants will be certainly out to spoil any success that the Eagles might have. So this game going to be a big game this Sunday. Very, very big game. But just getting back to now focusing on the Giant game, on this game, it's it just kind of goes to show you, even if the Giants would have won this game, it's just like they're making way too many mistakes. They had for every I'm going to go over it. And it was, I think this New York Post got a whole list of stuff that they did. For every, what was it, an 80-yarder to Slayton, for every Olszewski 94-yard punt return, the Giants had 1 or 2. They missed the game-winning field goal. They missed an extra point. Missed a 2-point conversion, which Taylor looked like he could have ran in. Saquon was there. He kind of like in between everything. He kind of like half ran it and half threw the ball and just and blew it. Yeah. But I tell you what, let's just hope. Let's just hope, okay, that the Giants can find somewhere on the roster for Mr. Hunter Olszewski, right? Let's just hope next season, because I'll tell you what, ever since he's been on this roster, ever since he's been returning punts, we're not hearing, why did the ball bounce off his helmet, or why did he let the ball bounce and roll back? What's going on with the punt? I haven't heard any of that, right? Things are starting a little, a little more under control, the punt return, right? So let's hope maybe we can keep this guy around, right? Right. Now, when was the last time the Giants ran a 90? I think it was 94-yarder. I mean, looked like I thought he was stopped. I mean, he gets into a pile. It's like, okay, he'll get tackled there. Okay, all right, okay. Whoa, what? How did he get out of that tackle? Well, he could go. You know what I mean? So let's hope that there's no more Sterling Shepard, Eric Gray kind of thing back there, or nothing like that. Let's hope that maybe we can keep Mr. Olszewski on the roster next season, right? Because right? I think he's earned himself a roster spot, right? If you need him in a pinch for the wide receiver role or something like that, you got him. But man's done a pretty nice job since he's been here with returning the punts. But it's just, oh my God, some of this crap is just the mistakes. I mean, that's what from the New York Post. They did. Right here it says the Giants' mistake-filled performance was a metaphor to a lost season. Yep, pretty much. It's whether they won this game or not or whatever. It's just so many stupid things that. Maybe bad calls, bad plays, bad tackling, bad bad teams don't do this. I'm sorry. Bad teams do this. Good teams, don't do this on a consistent basis. Maybe a good team might have a bad game here or there, or something like that. But this just seems like it's kind of like one game after the other for the Giants. It's just so many boneheaded plays and maybe calls and, Now I kind of get the thing like with the Saquon. Let's run a draw play. I can certainly see that. It just really didn't turn out very well. Especially, the one thing is that with when we got down there and we do try to draw a play to Saquon, try to catch him off guard. Outstanding. Obviously, I really have nothing wrong with that, except for one thing. Okay, but you're just trying to catch him off guard, right? The Giants. We spike the ball, so we get up there, right? So we still want to gain some yardage or something like that. The one problem is that you're like on. You got Crosby, who's I'm sure that was like right on the edge of where he could, make a field goal, right? So if you run the only other thing, like, so if, say you try to pass and Taylor got sacked, okay, well, that would be even worse then. But the one thing is I'm trying to run a draw play, as I said, trying to catch him off guard. And it could have popped. It could have been a nice game. But, I said the problem is that, you have no more timeouts, right? You have to. There wasn't a lot of time left. You'd have to. As soon as he got tackled, if you lost yards or whatever, which is what happened. You kind of have to hurry. You can't go in the huddle, lollygag, or So if he got stopped, or if he lost a couple of yards, which is what happening, now he's almost like out of Crosby's field goal range. You still have another play, right, to go. But then say, what if it's incomplete? Or say, what if he gets sacked? Or just say, what if we have a penalty on him? We get marched back even further. Now we're out of his range, right? And you saw the field goal wasn't even there. Now, if we had Gano, right? I mean, Gano from like last year, a 58, 55-yarder from Gano, it's good. Yeah, 54-yarder from Gano, it's good. 56-yarder from Gano, it's good. 53-yarder from Gano, it's good. I mean, if this was last year with Gano, it's like, yeah, you just send him out there, we'll make the 50-something yarder, right? But I mean, the 2-point conversion, the extra point, the field, just there's some of the crappy tackling we had. So I just this here from the New York Post. This was pretty much spot on. The margin for error was always going to be small on this day for the Giants. Absolutely. I mean, if the Giants were going to wind up winning this game, I said, they couldn't have a lot. They couldn't have a lot of turnovers or beat themselves or nothing like that. And I thought they had a good shot at least being in this game. That's for sure. What I did say in my video last night was they would have to score at least 20 points to win this game. And, thanks to the long bomb, thanks to the punt return and all, they got over 20 points, right? As small as the margin of victory for the Rams over the Giants Sunday at MetLife Stadium, which wound up being 1 point, wins don't just occur or fall in your lap, Giants tight end Darren Waller said afterwards. You have to make them happen in the league, this league, and we had opportunities to make it happen. When you don't take advantage of those opportunities, you end up with the L. Yep. The margin for error has been slim all season for the offensively challenged Giants. Yep. We're in the process of producing one of their most anemic offensive outputs in franchise history. Well, I mean, they got 25 points, so now they're getting closer, I guess, to 15 points per game, right? I mean, I know it was one of the it was at 76 or something like that. Well, I think it was 76. I think they averaged like 12 points a game, 1976. Their offense this year, as bad as it's been, is not as bad as it was back in the 70s. So when you're the Giants already eliminated from the playoff race and you're playing a Rams team that entered the day having won 5 of its previous 6 games and was in control of its playoff destiny, let us recount the things they couldn't afford to do on Sunday, meaning let's count the things the Giants could not afford to do. Yeah, I mean, like Adoree Jackson. I mean, 1 week we're talking, he's got the pick 6. We're saying, oh, man, Adoree had a good game. And this week it's like, what the – I mean, on Nakua. Well, what the was that? Quarterback Adoree Jackson whiffing on a tackle of Puka Nacua, who went 80 yards on one of the back-breaking plays of the game. The Rams rookie receiver appeared to be stopped for a 4-yard gain, with Jackson draped all over him. But he shook loose and burst free on an 80-yard gain to the Giants' 2-yard line. That set up Williams' TD 1 play later to put the Rams up 20-10. I mean, just unfreaking believable. He said, I was going for the pick, Jackson told the Post afterwards. We were in blitz 0. I jumped the route, and Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford did a good job of throwing him outside, so I had a bad angle. Jackson's emotion when he saw Nacua rambling down the sideline. Just damn S-H-I-T, I guess he made a play, Jackson said. And, of course, kicker Mason Crosby missing the extra point after quarterback Tyrod Taylor connected to Darius Slayton on 80, he missed the extra point. So if he actually makes the extra point at the end of the game, we're not going for, or when we score that 1 touchdown, we're not going for a 2-point conversion. We're kicking, maybe just kicking an extra point. We're not winning the game. So we got Crosby missing an extra point. Cordell Flott essentially escorting the Rams on a 4th quarter scoring drive that gave them a 26-19 lead. First, the Giants quarterback gave Rams receiver DeMarcus Robinson the equivalent of the Meadowlands racetrack for a cushion as Robinson gained 37 yards on an easy catch and run. On the next play, Flott was called for a defensive hold that set up a 28-yard scoring run by Williams. And of course, we had Daniel Bellinger was called for a holding penalty that negated a 47-yard Tyrod Taylor strike to rookie receiver Jalen Hyatt in the 4th quarter. Bellinger, I'll tell you what, his blocking, he is taking a step backwards this year. I don't know exactly what the heck it is, but let's hope, hopefully we can get it corrected. The Giants tight end Hook blitzing Rams safety Quentin Lake as Hyatt reached the Rams' 13-yard line. That the series ended several plays later on a failed 4th-and-1 play. I thought I made a good play, but I can't put it in the hands of the refs to make a call, Bellinger said. When you have those big splash plays, you can't lose them for something like that. It's frustrating. Then we have the doozy of the day. It was Tyrod Taylor, the 2-point conversion. I don't know what. Once again, it's once again, it's kind of like with Tyrod. I remember the one against with the Bills, right? At the end of the first half against the Bills, right? We get down there, right? It was the pass play. I forgot we were on the 1 or 2 yard line. We have no timeouts. It's like, what are you thinking? What the are you thinking, right? Against the Bills, whatever it was, 14 seconds or whatever, something like that. We're in field goal range, right? Obviously we're at the 2 yard line, whatever, right? But we have no timeouts left. So it's a pass play. So the only way, would be bad if it was a pass play would have been like maybe if he got sacked, right? He took a sack, right? And the clock ran out. But I mean, for the most part, drops back to pass. If nothing's there, he throws an incomplete pass and we kick a field goal. So now we have an extra 3 points. So then we're at the end of the game, right? Possibly, maybe we only need 3 points and we wind up winning a football game. But I'm saying, what he did with the Buffalo, he's like, I changed it to a run. Well, it's like, okay, that's cool. Yeah. But, if it gets stopped, for not a touchdown, you realize we're not going to get any points out of this, right? Because we have no timeouts left and there's only, 14 seconds. The clock's going to run out. You realize, it just, you expect better from an experience, from a veteran like him. You expect better. But, this is just the Giants season in a nutshell. It was Taylor on a 2-point conversion to give the Giants, who could have gave the Giants a 27-26 lead after the punt return. Gunnar Olszewski scored on a 95-yard punt return with 3:27 to make left. Make it 26-25 Rams. So with a 2-point conversion, the Giants could have took a 27-26 lead. He threw a pass woefully behind running back Saquon Barkley, had no chance to catch the ball. Saquon was open, and it looked like Taylor could have ran the ball in. And so what happens? He did neither. Saquon was open, and I was kind of caught in between running it and throwing it, and I didn't do either one of them, Taylor said. I've got to do better. And basically, certainly don't want to say that one specific play cost the Giants the game, but that was one of the things that cost the Giants the game. Then there was Barkley's dropping a Tyrod pass with 1:04 remaining on the Giants' final possession that could have turned into a huge gainer with no one around him. It's like, it's like, and don't get me wrong, Saquon's been a fantastic player, but you want the big boy bucks, Saquon? You want the big boy bucks? You want 14, 15 million? Yeah. Yeah. Sure about that? Yeah. Why don't we try catching these passes here? Huh? But once again, that's the whole season in a nutshell right there. It was a simple option route that I've been asking for all year, and I made a good read and was thinking of taking it to the house instead of securing the catch, Barkley said. It's the little things. That's what it comes down to. Yep. You can't go nowhere without the ball. You secure the ball, then you do what you're going to do, right? It was the theme of the day. Dable with no timeouts, curiously calling a second down draw play. Well, I don't know if he called it or Kafka called it, but draw play to Barkley that went from minus 2 yard loss to back to the Giants' 36-yard line, now leaving Crosby with the team's third kicker of the season. Third. Well, I guess York maybe didn't actually play in the game, but he's really the fourth kicker because, maybe, as I said, York was maybe just on the practice squad, maybe didn't actually kick, but we put 3 kickers on injured reserve. So to me, he's the 4th kicker. But anyway, the team's kicker with a 54-yard field goal attempt to win the game. Yeah, I'd like to have that play back, Dable lamented. The Crosby kick, of course, was woefully short. And, so you just took him out of, and fitting into the day for the 5-11 Giants. Yep, a metaphor to a lost season in which the Giants spent far too much time falling short or failing, period. Absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. As I said, with the draw, as I said, I can certainly see, but what I would like to have with that one, like say they were at the 20-yard line, just saying, right? Maybe the 25-yard line, right? So that way, they get the play, and then they try the draw to Saquon, and if it doesn't catch the Rams off guard, he loses 2 yards to go from the 25 back to the 27. Now it's a 44, 45-yard field goal. Not saying he's going to make it, but it's still within his range. But where the ball was at was what the 30. What was it? The 30. It got down to the 34. It was the 34. And then with Saquon, trying to catch him off guard with the draw play, which it didn't work. They lost 2 yards, and now you're almost out of his field goal range. You still had the 3rd down play, which didn't net anything, right? But now after he lost 2 yards, right? Now you're basically out of Crosby's field goal range, and that's what wound up happening on that one. And I said I can understand the intent on that one. I said because if you catch him off guard, they run up to the line of scrimmage, or they spiked it, so they go back up to the line of scrimmage, and the Rams are thinking, okay, watch the pass. And they go running up the field, and they draw a play to Saquon, and he busted for 5 or 10 yards or so, whatever. That would have been huge. I said I can understand the intent of the play, but if it doesn't, now you're even farther out of Crosby's field goal range, right? So I said you still have another play, but right, if you don't gain any yards, now you're asking the kicker to try to kick a ball 50-something yards, and it's out of his field goal range, and that's what wound up happening. So it's one of those woulda, coulda, shoulda years, woulda, coulda, shoulda games. The one nice thing, if you want to look at it, is like this game didn't cost the Giants the playoffs. It didn't cost them from winning the division. Didn't cost them this. Didn't cost them that. And then anything, if you want to look at a little bit of a bright side, the Giants, I believe, still have the 5th overall pick. And what I saw in the Giants could still get the 2nd pick. Somebody in one of the Facebook groups, like the Giants have to lose. Obviously, of course, I think the Patriots got to win. Patriots are playing the Jets. Patriots could win. Patriots, I'll tell you what, they're playing. They're playing, right? The Patriots could beat the Jets, right? The Giants got to lose. That could happen. The Patriots could beat the Jets. I forgot what else. I don't know. I think the Commanders have to beat the Cowboys, and somebody else. The Cardinals would have to win. Who are the Cardinals playing? The Cardinals are playing the Seahawks. Well, that's possible. Who knows? So I'm saying if those things happen, the Giants could, what I read, what I saw in a Facebook group, right? And I shared it with my Facebook group. The Giants can move up to pick number 2. So, not that any of the players or the coaches are looking for that. They don't really care. But, so there's a possibility. Maybe it says in this article, you're all on there. 2024 NFL Draft Watch. Giants still have the number 5 overall pick. So let's see. What do we got? So the Giants would have to lose. Arizona, New England, and the Commanders would all have to win. And then the Giants would have the number 2 pick. So then you figure, then just this is just a little. Of course, hey, we're going to know after next this time next week, we're going to know where the Giants are picking at. The interesting thing is that the Carolina is locked in at number 1. That ain't changing. Obviously, which the Bears have their pick. Now, the interesting thing here is what direction are the Bears going to go? Do they want to? Because the Bears got 2 high picks, right? I mean, if somebody wants to trade up with the Bears, right, and they can get some more draft capital, that would be huge for them. What are they thinking, right? What are they thinking about Fields? Is he a long-term future for him, or do they want to try to pick one of the quarterbacks? If he is the long-term future, do they just want to say, let's take Marvin Harrison Jr.? There you go. Now you got Fields. You got your wide receiver. You can supplement some other wide receivers, but you got your number 1 dog, right? You got your quarterback. You got your dog, right? And maybe they can take their other number 1 pick and move if somebody wants to trade up, and they can move back, grab a couple more draft picks with that or something, right? Or do they maybe want to take one of these tackles, right? Because I mean, obviously, the best friend of a quarterback, right? I mean, I said if they're thinking about sticking with Fields, a couple good things with the quarterback, right? One, a tackle, right, to protect one of the sides, right? I mean, heck, I mean, you could look at it like this. I mean, right? The Bears could actually wind up with both tackles if it were to fall that way. Oh, let me see. Where are they picking at? The Bears are picking. Right. Okay, they're probably not. They keep winning. What are they? 7-9. Man, good for them, man. Good for them. I'm very impressed. Very impressed. They're I'll tell you what. Good for them, man. Good for them. Way to go. I was saying they could wind up with both tackles, but they just keep winning. So now they're picking number 10. But I mean, they were picking like number 1 and number 3 or 1 and 4. Well, I'm saying, I mean, if they wanted to be greedy, they could almost take both freaking tackles. I mean, take the guy from Penn State and take the guy from Alt from Notre Dame. But it'd be interesting to see what the Bears, or they just want to trade out of that number 1 pick, just trade back. Maybe one of the quarterback hungry teams wants to go up, and the Bears can pick up another second or first round or something. Maybe next year or something like that. Collect some draft capital. But so the Giants could technically wind up with the 2nd overall pick. Man, I tell you what, that's gonna be really freaking interesting. Really interesting to see where Shane and Dable want to go. But now the Giants, if they were to win, let's see here. Looks like they could fall back to the Giants. So the Giants, no matter what, will have a top 8 pick. I mean, well, let me see. Winning strength of schedule. Jets 5 of 6, Giants 5-11. Now, so if the Giants could possibly fall back to number 8, I think, if they were to win. Possibly. But then again, I mean, if the Jets were to beat the Patriots, right? Yeah, because the Bills and the Dolphins, what a big game that's going to be next week. Holy, and I heard the Dolphins could possibly even get knocked out of the playoffs. Holy cow. Possibly. But so the Giants could possibly go anywhere from number 2, and they could possibly fall back to number 8 if things go one way or the other. So I'm saying the Giants were to win next week against next Sunday against or Saturday or Sunday. I'm not exactly sure when they're playing, but they could possibly fall back to number 8. So the Giants have a top 10 pick no matter what, whether they win or not. Right. So at least if you want to look for a little bit of a bright side, they still have a top 5 pick. And I said they can go any way they want. So it'd be interesting. I mean, it'd be interesting to see, do the Giants want to, if they have the number 5, do they want to jump up? And is there somebody they really want to grab? They want to stay put, or do they? If somebody wants to trade up with them, do they want to move back a little bit? Because we got a few quarterbacks might possibly want to go in the first 5 picks or so. So I'll have to wait and see. I'm saying if the Giants could go back, a few spots and pick up somebody else's 2nd round pick or another 3rd round pick or something, that could be huge for the Giants. So it's going to be very, very, very interesting offseason. What are the Giants going to do especially with a top 5, 6, 7 pick in the draft. Who's staying, who's leaving with the Giants, who the Giants want to try to pick up, right? What free agents they're going to let go, what free agents they're going to bring in, what are they going to do with the coaching staff, right? Is Kafka? Is he going bye-bye? Bobby Johnson, is he going bye-bye? I hope. Man, I really hope he goes bye-bye. All right. So, does it say this here? The Giants can't finish with more than 6 wins on the year, which locks them into a top 10 selection. Actually, the top 8. Top 8 selection, because Atlanta's got 7 wins. The Bears have 7 wins. So the Giants at the most could have 6 wins, which lock them into a top 8 pick. The Giants can't, but on the flip side, the win by Arizona Cardinals puts a clump of 4-win teams just ahead of the Giants. That could make the second overall pick a realistic possibility for the Giants. Now, but also, I mean, maybe, yeah, yep. If either the Commanders, if the Giants were to lose next week, that's all I'm saying. I hope they beat the Eagles. I really hope they do. But if they don't, if they were to lose, if either the Commanders, the New England, or the Cardinals were to win next week, the Giants will say New England wins. They beat the Jets. New England finishes with a record of 5-12. Say the Giants lose. The Giants finish with a record of 5-12. The Giants will move up a spot, because the Giants' strength of schedule is weaker than the Patriots is. Say, as I said, say the Commanders were to beat the Cowboys. It's possible. You don't know. The Giants would move up a spot. If Arizona could beat the Seahawks, that's a possibility. I'm not sure where that game is at. Can't click on it. I don't know if the Cardinals are playing home or away, but I mean, the Seahawks are reeling. Oh, okay. Here we go. It just says the Cardinals to beat the Seahawks. Yeah. It doesn't say where. But yeah, I'm saying, so if the Cardinals were to beat the Seahawks, and I said the Seahawks have been reeling ever since we made that trade and gave them Leonard Williams, and we picked a second round pick for him. The Seahawks they've been plummeting. But I said if either the Commanders, the Patriots, or the Cardinals were to win, and if the Giants were to lose, one of those teams, the Giants will move up a spot or so. So the Giants could move up to number 4. They can move up to number 3. They can move up to number 2. So it'll be very, very interesting. Very interesting. All right, what do we got here? I got one more thing here. New York Post. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, hold on. And Mason Crosby misses the game-winning field goal in the final seconds, 54-yarder. Yeah, it was. I wanted to go over. Good old Carrick came up with 10 tackles, but the problem, once again, it's been for the Giants quite often, right? Of quite the past few games. You got a Carrick, right? Leads the team in tackles for the game, but then the next 4 guys, right, are guys in the secondary as far as tackles, and that's not ideal. You got McLeod, you got Jackson, McKinney, and Flott. All those are the next 4 guys after Carrick. Good old A'Shawn Robinson had another good game. He had 5 tackles. Isaiah Simmons, he was in there. He had 4 tackles. He had a sack and a tackle for loss and a quarterback hit. Nunez Roches, good to see him in there. He had half a sack. He had 4 tackles. Jihad Ward, he had another sack. He's like a sack machine now. The Giants on the game with 4 sacks. It's pretty good. And 7 quarterback hits. The problem is that on the other side, the flip side, we gave up 6 sacks. So I think we're up to like 83 sacks we've given up on the season. And we give 10 quarterbacks. So, not an absolute banner season by the Giants offensive line here. We had 17 first downs, 5 out of 16 on third down conversions, so it's like 30%. We were good. I mean, as far as with the Rams are 2 out of 8 on third downs and 0 for 1 on fourth down. So between third and fourth downs, right? The Rams were 2 out of 9. Our problem is that we couldn't get them the third down. That was one of the problems. They wound up with 391 yards. We had 389, which is cool. 284 yards passing. We had a long pass play. They had a long pass play. They had 105 yards rushing. We had 105 yards rushing. So we pretty good there. The one nice thing is we got the 3 turnovers, which wound up being huge. Now, of course, the 2 turnovers that we had, with good old Belton, right? Were overthrows. The one he made, which looks like he just barely got up. It looks like I thought it hit the carpet, but he got his hands under there, so good for him. But basically, they were just bad passes. They just sailed, and Belton made the most of his opportunity, so that's good. Now the thing is usually a lot of times in every game there's an opportunity, right, for somebody to make an interception or something like that. But sometimes if you're not prepared, right, you let the stuff fall right between your hands. So, but Belton did a very good job. The 3 turnovers for the Giants were absolutely huge, really, really huge. I mean, you figure the 3 turnovers. Said the punt return for the touchdown, the Slayton once again, and I want to give some kudos to Slayton. He needed, I think, if I remember, he needed 98 yards. Okay, between this game and next game to eclipse or hit the 700-yard receiving mark once again. So 4 out of his 5 years with the Giants, he's had at least 700 receiving yards. And it looks like, once again, it's going to be 4 out of 5 years, the 5th-round pick, right, is going to lead the Giants in receiving. Now, man, these guys to show you, I mean, nothing but love for him, but it also kind of shows you how kind of pathetic it is. Our leading receiver, once again, is like 700 yards receiving. I mean, we got, with the Eagles, DeVonta Smith and Brown, I think both have 1,000 yards receiving each. We can't even get one guy to get 800 yards. You know what I mean? So, but I said, much love. I'm so glad we signed Slayton for 2 years, so we have him back again next year. So it was so good, right? I mean, between him, Wando Robinson, Hyatt, we certainly got some young talent to work with, that's for sure. I mean, Bellinger's got to work on his blocking. Certainly you're not somebody, obviously, you want to kick to the curb or not like that. You certainly want to have Bellinger around without question, but he's got to work on his blocking without question. But once again, another young guy. We do need to get a dog. We got to get a dog of a wide receiver here without question. Without question, we need that. But the unfortunate thing is we have some holes to fill right now. And after the season's over with, we're going to have even more holes, right? Because, what are we doing with McKinney? I said, we don't have a ton of salary cap space, right? What are we doing with Saquon? What are we doing with McKinney? We're going to bring Isaiah Simmons back, right? We need another edge rusher. What are we doing with Adoree Jackson? If you're going to bring him back, that's going to be costly. Do we want to get rid of Dory and get younger and get cheaper? Maybe try to fill his spot someplace in the draft. We're not drafting somebody in the first, in the top 5 picks as a cornerback, but maybe somebody in the second round, maybe to take his spot. I said, and then the offensive line. What are we doing with the offensive line? And unfortunately, we don't have a ton of cap space to go out and bring in 3 real good veterans. We're out there paying big bucks to bring good guys in. In 2025, we're going to have some money. We'll have some cap space to go out there and maybe bring 1 or 2 home run hitters in there. But and I said, we need a number 1 wide receiver, right? It was supposed to be Waller, but if we have Waller back again next year, there's a good chance he's going to be injured once again. He's good chance he's going to miss some more games like he did this season. You can almost pencil that in. So you don't know what's going to happen there. But we need another. We need a wide receiver, and then of course, then what are we doing at quarterback? Daniel Jones is coming back for his sixth season, right? Is he still the guy or not? So, but a lot of this stuff is going to find out. What Shane and Dave will think about Daniel Jones when the draft comes around. Because if we're picking number 3, 4, or 5 or something like that, and if there's a good quarterback there, just don't be surprised if they pick one up. But tough. Another time, this one is almost not quite as bad as the Jet loss, because the Jet loss was just like, because that was also many games ago where the Giants still had a chance, and it's like, that was more, that was a real bad gut punch. This one's a gut punch. I mean, this one, I'm saying this just, encapsulates the whole season, this loss here to the Rams. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Of course, never didn't happen. But at least, as I said, it didn't cost us a playoff spot. It just cost us some embarrassment. Didn't cost us a playoff spot. Didn't cost us to lose the division title or nothing like that. And we're still got pick number 5 in the draft. So we got one more game left against those Philadelphia Eagles. And, the Eagles are coming to town, right? And they're coming to whoop up on the Giants, right? So let's hope the Giants can, this final game of the season, let's hope the Giants can put their big boy pants on and go toe-to-toe with the Philadelphia Eagles. And, man, I would love nothing better than to beat the freaking Eagles, man. If we could, that's another one of the things, too, just before I sign off here. What we're trying to do, because last year we were 1-5-1, right? We were 0-4 against the Eagles and the Cowboys. We were 1-0-1 against the Commanders. This year we're 2-0 against the Commanders, so we got better there. As of right now, we're 0-3 against the Cowboys and the Eagles. You want to see improvement each year, all right? The Eagles have come down. I mean, we're not at their level, but with their defense stinks. They've definitely come down without question. We're 0-3 against the Cowboys and Eagles this year. Can we get a win? All right. I said, if we go 1-3 against the Cowboys and Eagles, that's improvement. We went 2-0 against the Commanders. That's improvement. Okay. So you want to see improvement each year, especially in your own division. Okay. So if the Giants could win, that would be absolutely huge. But if they lose once again, right, it's another 0-4 season against the Cowboys and the Eagles. And the only way you're ever going to win a division or make the playoffs or go deep in the playoffs or whatever, you have to beat the teams above you in the division. And if we can ever beat the Eagles or the Cowboys, I don't know however we're going to want to make them to the Super Bowl. But all right, guys, whoever spent any time, been 52 minutes, whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. If anybody spends any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Wish I had some better results, but oh my God. It's the 2023 season. What else do you expect? So you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh yeah.